Hey folks, welcome back to your Week 7 NFL picks here on the Vegas Don channel. Last week we went 9-5 straight up. No evil point spread in this. And also for entertainment purposes only, we do this just for fun here on the Vegas Don channel for our community to see how you guys do versus how I do and how we all do and see who comes up with the best score for the week, the best record for the week. So I'm at 56-36 for the season right now. So 60% wins percentage. Straight up again, no evil line. So let's jump right into it. For tonight, for Week 7, we've got the Broncos of Denver flying into New Orleans to take on the Saints. Now, there's some intrigue in this one because you have Sean Payton, the former Saints coach, facing off against his old team, going back to his old former work site. The Broncos are 3-point favorites in this one, over under 37.5. The Saints have all kinds of injury problems right now, plus Derek Carr, of course, is not there. I'm going to take the Broncos on the road. I think they will cover. I could see that coming back to bite me, but I do think they'll cover. And 37.5, they'll probably go. I'm going to say under on this. I think this is going to be a very low scoring game for them. So Broncos at home. I'm sorry, Broncos at the Saints, but Broncos will win. Don't know if they'll cover, but I do think that score will go under. And then that brings us to the London games. The London Jaguars are at home against the New England Patriots. The London Jaguars is their second straight game over there. That's why I'm calling them that. Their owner's also from London, so there's that. The London Jaguars are 5.5-point favorites at home here in London. Over under 42.5. I'm going to take the Patriots here. Jaguars were a mess last week. Their coach came out and said that that whole defense just gave up in the second half of the game last week against the Bears. So that scares me. When you have a team giving up on its coach, good things are not going to happen for that team. So I'm going to take the Patriots straight up to defeat the Jaguars there. I think it'll probably stay under there. A very low scoring game. A low scaring game here for the Halloween season. Titans at Bills. Definitely take the Bills here. The line is really fat, 9. They're favored by 9, the Bills are. Over under a 40.5. I think this will probably go over. I think the Bills will cover. That line just scares me. Always in the NFL, when you see a fat line like that, it scares me. And then we have the Packers at home against the Texans. Packers are 2.5-point favorites in this one. It'd probably go the other way if it was in Texas. But I'm going to take the Packers on this one. I think the Packers will prevail at home in front of that crowd, that ruckus crowd. I think they will cover. Over under 47.5. I could see this one going over, so I'm going to take the over in this one as well. And then we have the Eagles of Philadelphia flying across New Jersey into East Rutherford to take on the Gigantes of New York. Giants are 3-point underdogs at home against the Eagles, and with good reason. The Eagles will probably prevail in this one. This is also a homecoming of sorts for Saquon Barkley, coming home to face off against his old team, the Giants. So I'll take the Eagles. I think they will cover, and I'll think that they'll probably go over on the over-under, which is 42.5. And then we've got the Vikings at home against the Lions. The Vikings are favored by 1.5 in this one, so pretty tight point spread in this. We've got the over under 50.5. They're expecting some scoring in this one. I'm going to go over on the over under. I think that I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of defense in this. I think that the Vikings will prevail at home. I think they will cover, and I think they're going to go over on that over-under. So NFC North matchup to the Vikings. Then you have the Falcons in the Battle of the Birds at home. 3-point favorites over the Seahawks. My apologies to 7-Eleven Man and to Michael, but I think that the Falcons are going to pull this one off at home. Falcons usually win at home, usually by 3. It's that Hyungwoo Koo, the kicker that they have for the Falcons. Somehow they put him in position to kick the game-winning field goal every single time. So I'm going to take Hyungwoo Koo and the 3-point favorite Falcons in this one at the Georgia Dome. Well, it's not the Georgia Dome anymore. Mercedes-Benz Dome. Over under 51.5. I think they might go under on this one. I could see this being like a 17-14 type of score in this one. So definitely Falcons at home. I think they will cover, and I think Well, no, I think it might be a push, actually. If they win by 3, it'll be a push. But I think that they will win straight up, and then 51.5, I think they're going to stay under on that. And then you have the Battle of Ohio, Cincinnati traveling across the state, up to the northeastern part of the state, to take on the Browns. Browns are kind of a wreck right now. They just traded Amari Cooper for a paper clip and some chewing gum over to the Buffalo Bills. And the Bengals are 5.5-point favorites in this one. I'm going to take the Bengals for sure. Browns are just a train wreck. Over under 41.5 in this one. I think that the Bengals will win. I think they'll cover, and I think they're probably going to go over. I think that Joe Burrow is really looking for a breakout game to come out and make a statement and say, don't forget about me. So, yeah, Bengals over the Browns. And then you have the Colts against my Dolphins. I'm wearing my Dolphins gear here, but Dolphins are just not the same team without Tua. And the Colts are 3-point favorites in this one. Over under 43.5. I'm going to take the Colts. I think they will cover, and I think that they'll go under on the over-under on this one. I just don't see the Dolphins being able to do a whole lot without Tua in there. They can't throw the ball to anyone. At least they don't have anyone that can throw the ball to anyone. They just definitely have the receivers for it, though. Commanders at home. 8-point favorites over the Panthers. I think they're going to cover this one for sure. Over under 51.5. Jaden Daniels will probably want to come out and make a statement after the loss last week at Baltimore. So I think they're probably going to go over on the over under 51.5 and just trounce the Panthers. This one will probably be over early. Again, they're 8-point favorites. I think they'll cover that one as well. And then we have the late games. You have the Raiders of Las Vegas traveling down I-15 to take on the Rams of Los Angeles. Rams are 7-point favorites in this one, rightfully so. The Raiders are just a mess. Trading Devontae Adams for, again, a paper clip and some chewing gum to the New York Jets. Just terrible, terrible management. And it's been that way for the Raiders for a long time. The addition of Tom Brady as a part owner at 5% ownership is not going to make a bit of difference at all. So anyway, I will take the Rams. I think that they will cover over under 43.5. I think this will probably stay under. Rams don't really have a whole lot of scoring potential with their injuries, but I do think they'll definitely prevail against the Raiders in LA. Niners at home in the game of the week, game of the year maybe here, the rematch of the Super Bowl, last year's Super Bowl. Niners are 1.5-point favorites, probably the only time you're going to see the Chiefs as an underdog all year. Chiefs are 1.5-point favorites, over under 46.5. I see this going over, and I do think that the Niners will win. Niners surprised the you-know-what out of me last Thursday night against the Seahawks. I did not think that that was going to happen. So I'm back on the Niners train. I think that they will prevail over the Chiefs at home. Had this been in KC, it would be a different story. But definitely the Niners at home, I think they'll cover, and I think they'll go over on that over-under. And then the Sunday night game, all sorts of intrigue here. You've got the Green Bay Packers playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oops, sorry. I meant the New York Jets flying in to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have Aaron Rodgers with his 2 previous receivers that he had there in Green Bay, so they've kind of reconstructed that offense there in New York. Now, can they do anything with it? Jets are favored by 2 in this one, over under 38.5. They're expecting to hold a very defensive game here. Will Devontae Adams have been able to learn the Jets offense within less than a week? Probably not. I'm going to take the Steelers at home in this one. I think the Steelers will win outright, and I think that they'll probably go under. I think that they'll probably be a very low-scoring, defensive-minded game here. And then that brings us to our 2 Monday night games here. We're blessed with another 2 Monday night games. Ravens of Baltimore traveling down to Florida to take on the Buccaneers of Tampa Bay. Ravens are 3.5-point favorites in this one. I do think that they will prevail. I don't know that they'll cover that. I could see this as being a very close game, over under 49.5. I think they'll probably stay under, but I do think that the Ravens will prevail. You have defenses on both sides of the ball here for the most part when they want to show up. So I will take the Ravens. They might cover, but I would go under on the over-under on this one. And then the nightcap from Monday night, Chargers of LA flying into Phoenix to take on the Arizona Cardinals down I-10 there. Cardinals are 2.5-point home underdogs in this one. I think that the Chargers will prevail on the road. 2.5 points. I think that they will cover. 43.5. I think that this will probably go over on this one. So I would take the Chargers on the road. Both teams, in fact, Ravens and Chargers on the road on Monday night. Thanks for joining, everyone. Let me know your picks and your thoughts about my picks, as well as your picks in the comment section of the video. We really appreciate each and every single one of you. Again, that just for fun, for entertainment purposes only, just a little something we do here on the Vegas Don channel with our community. We'll see you next week.